Clara had never imagined her first real chance at starting over would come on a remote Wyoming ranch. The land stretched endlessly, flat and unforgiving, yet strangely honest. She had arrived with one suitcase and a past she refused to explain. The rancher watched her from a distance at first, not judging, just observing. He understood broken people. The land attracted them. When she hesitated near the barn gate, unsure whether to step in or turn back, he spoke calmly, grounding her nerves. His voice carried the confidence of someone who had survived far worse than fear. The task he asked her to do wasn't complicated, but to Clara it felt overwhelming. She admitted quietly that she had never done anything like this before. Her confession hung in the dry air, heavy with embarrassment. The rancher didn't laugh or question her. Instead, he nodded, as if first times were something sacred. "Easy," he said, moving slowly so she could follow. "No rush." He explained, each step carefully, showing respect for her nerves. The way he spoke made the work feel less like a test and more like a lesson meant to build trust. As Clara listened, her heartbeat slowly steadied. She noticed how the rancher never raised his voice, never rushed her, and never treated her fear as weakness. When she struggled, he stepped closer, not touching, just present. "It'll be over." "And quick," he whispered, not to pressure her, but to remind her that fear never lasts forever. She realized then that this wasn't about the task at all. It was about learning to believe in herself again after years of doubt and disappointment. The wind picked up, carrying the scent of dust and hay. Clara focused on her, breathing, doing exactly what he showed her. Each small success pushed the fear further away. She felt something unfamiliar. Confidence. The rancher stepped back, letting her finish on her own. His silence spoke louder than encouragement. For the first time in a long while, Clara felt capable, not because someone saved her, but because someone trusted her enough to let her try. When it was done, she stood still, waiting for criticism that never came. Instead, the rancher gave a small nod of approval. "You did fine," he said simply. Those words meant more to her than he could know. As the sun dipped lower behind the hills, Clara realized this moment marked a turning point. Her first time facing fear without. Running had changed something inside her. And though neither of them said it aloud, both understood that this ranch was no longer just a place. It was the beginning of a bond built on patience, trust, and quiet strength. Morning arrived quietly on the ranch, the kind of silence that felt earned rather than empty. Clara woke before the sun, surprised by how rested she felt. The fear that once sat, heavy in her chest, had softened into something manageable. Outside, the rancher was already awake, repairing a fence with steady hands. He didn't speak when he noticed her, only nodded as if acknowledging a shared understanding. There was comfort in that. Simplicity, no questions, no pressure, just the calm rhythm of a life that moved forward regardless of the past. As the day unfolded, Clara found herself working with more confidence. She made mistakes, but she didn't freeze anymore. The rancher corrected her gently. Never sharp, never impatient. At one point she laughed at herself, and the sound surprised them both. It had been a long time since laughter came easily to her. He smiled briefly, then returned to his work, as if giving her space to rediscover parts of herself she thought were lost. The ranch didn't demand perfection, it demanded honesty, and that was something she could finally give. Later, they sat on the porch as the afternoon heat settled over the land. Clara spoke without looking at him, sharing fragments of the life she left behind. Not details, just feelings. Fear, regret, exhaustion. The rancher listened without interruption, his presence steady as the horizon. When she finished, he didn't offer solutions. He only said that everyone who came here arrived broken in some way. Some left, some stayed. What mattered was choosing to stand up each morning and keep going, even when the past whispered otherwise. As evening approached, Clara realized she no longer felt like a guest. She moved through the space with familiarity, understanding its sounds and silences. The rancher watched her from a distance again, but this time there was quiet respect in his gaze. She had crossed something invisible, no longer defined by fear or by her first uncertain steps. The land had tested her, and she hadn't backed away. That mattered here. It mattered to him, even if he never said it aloud. When the sun finally disappeared and stars filled the sky, Clara stood alone for a moment, breathing in the cool night air. Her first time here had been filled with doubt, but it ended with clarity. She didn't know how long she would stay or what the future held, but she knew one thing for certain. She wasn't running anymore. The rancher turned off the porch light, signaling the day's end, and in that quiet darkness, Clara felt something she hadn't felt in years: peace, earned slowly, honestly, and on her own terms.